Building a home is a massive financial investment. Many buyers assume sourcing the most expensive cement and high-grade steel guarantees a structurally sound house. But those raw materials are inherently useless on their own. Their potential relies entirely on precise, flawless human execution on the site. A single misaligned measurement or a skipped procedural step by a mason will cause those premium materials to fail, resulting in crooked walls, compromised doors, and cracking beams. A house's ultimate lifespan is dictated entirely by a strict chronological sequence of engineering thresholds that the mason must cross step by step. True structural integrity cannot be bought in a store. It must be systematically engineered by hand, phase by phase, straight from the ground up. The process begins with layout. The engineer's two-dimensional map must be translated into physical three-dimensional space using exact string line measurements. Foundation excavation follows, where the depth and width must strictly adhere to the engineer's analysis of the specific soil conditions. This diagram shows the foundation trench's correct layering. Pour a flat base of plain cement concrete, or PCC, before introducing steel. If a builder takes a shortcut, mixing excavated dirt into the pour, the steel cage sinks, instantly compromising the structure above. Mathematical precision in these dark, buried layers establishes the permanent stability of the entire visible house above. Moving up to the assembly of the load-bearing skeleton, the spacing, thickness, and quantity of steel rebar in columns and beams must exactly match the structural drawing. This introduces the requirement for cover blocks. These act as a non-negotiable physical spacer between the steel skeleton and the outside world. This diagram shows a chemical vulnerability. If steel touches the wooden mold or shuttering, it's exposed to moisture and begins to rust. As the rusted steel expands in size, it acts like a bomb, bursting the concrete column open from the inside out. The concrete poured over this skeleton requires a strict mathematical ratio of cement, sand, gravel, and water. Masons frequently add excessive water to make pouring easier, a practice that drastically dilutes the chemical bonds and the structural strength of the final cured concrete. Builders use mechanical vibration to compact wet concrete. This eliminates dangerous structural voids, known as honeycombing, by expelling massive trapped air bubbles to the surface. The skeleton of the house survives long-term only if the steel is completely isolated from the elements and the concrete remains mathematically dense. During the brickwork phase, builders must repeatedly verify the exact vertical plumb line. Bricks also need pre-wetting to prevent them from stealing moisture directly from the fresh mortar. Concrete and mortar do not dry out like paint. They harden via a sustained, moisture-dependent chemical reaction called curing. Prematurely stopping the curing process to rush the job deprives the materials of water, guaranteeing structural microcracks and overall weakness. At the wall's base, this diagram highlights the damp-proof course, or DPC, the ultimate environmental defense system. Dark blue moisture wicks upward from the soil, but perfectly halts the moment it hits the solid DPC layer, keeping the living space completely dry. The integration of plumbing and electrical conduits follows a strict rule. Their exact locations must be mapped out before any concrete is poured. Chiseling or drilling into finished concrete to fit pipes retroactively creates scenes like this, a beam violently hacked open, severing the load-bearing integrity of the frame. Meticulous foresight in mapping these internal systems is the only way to prevent the physical mutilation of the house's finished skeleton. Viewing a flawless concrete and brick skeleton reveals the final truth of the structural phase. A master mason operates not on speed, but on the meticulous verification of lines, levels, and measurements at every single stage. Decades of experience on the site never override the engineer's structural drawing. The map remains the absolute law. The ultimate enemy of a multi-generational invincible home is the desire to rush the process. Building a legacy home is an uncompromising partnership between premium materials and patient execution. Armed with this sequence, you can now oversee the thresholds of your own build.